All right, so I'm going to do this problem because it's going to put everything together. I mean, it's more like one I would give you. All right, so we have this function. He seems scary, but don't be intimidated. And so we're going to list all the possible zeros first. So P over Q, I'm going to do this right this time. 8 over 2 factors of 8. 1 and 8. 2, and then we have factors of 2. 1 and 2. All right, so I have 1 over 1, which is just 1, and then I have 1 over. Then I have 8 over 1, and then I have 8 over 2, which is the number 4. So 8 over 2 is the number 4. Then I have 2 over 1, okay, and 2 over 2 is number 1. I'm not writing it because it's repeated. Okay? You can if you want to, and then go back and cancel like I did on the previous one. I did 8 for everything. I've done 2 over 1. 2 over 2 is really 1, and I wrote 1. And I have 4 over 1. And then 4 divided by 2 is just the number 2. Also not writing. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 12 because each one is plus and minus. Now I'm going to test some possible zeros. Okay. And so I test on my calculator. I also I personally do the whole positive numbers first. So 2, 1, minus 7, that's 14, plus 8. So I plugged in 1. I got negative 424. So positive 1 doesn't work. I'm going to go ahead and plug in negative 1. If that works better for some of you, like do the positive version and the negative version. Okay, I plugged in negative 1. I got negative 5. So positive 1 and negative 1 are out. Okay, now I'm going to do 8. Now plugged in negative 8. Yeah, that crazy number. I'm going to do positive 8 now. Okay, positive 8 also gave me a crazy number. 8's out. Okay. Right. Then let's do 2. Pop in 2. I was looking at something on my calculator before. I want to make sure we're on the right track. It can be really overwhelming. So I got negative 20. So positive 2 doesn't work. Let's try negative 2. Negative 2 gives me 36. So 2 is out. Let's try 4. Ha. Okay, I typed in 4 and I got 0. Praise Jesus. All right, so f of 4 is 0. So I can do a couple things. Okay. I can keep plugging in numbers. Oh, look. 4, 4. Silly me. I can keep plugging in numbers to find more. This is the possible, okay, so this is called rational root theorem. This is the possible rational numbers, okay, that are the zeros. We could have some irrational ones, okay. And so I can keep plugging in and to find all the possible rational ones, but that doesn't necessarily give me all of them. And so I'm going to personally use synthetic division. And so we had 4, so I'm going to do 4. So 2, negative 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off so nothing is missing. Add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply. All right, we knew we would get a 0 because when we substituted, we got a 0. And the other theorems from the other videos, factor theorem, rational root theorem, another theorem I can't think off the top of my head. Remainder theorem said that this all will match. Okay, and so this is 2x to the 4th. So this guy right here means 2x cubed plus x squared. I don't need to write the imaginary one. Minus 4x minus 2. Okay, and so I have this guy now. He's smaller. And so this guy has the same possible rational zeros as over here. Okay, and so what I can do, since he's smaller and a little less confusing, is I could plug in negative 4, 1/2, negative 1/2, and factor out something else. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so we did positive 4. Let's do negative 4. So this time I'm going to use him, or you can use the same one. 2, negative 4 cubed plus negative 4 squared minus 4, negative 4 minus 2. I want to plug in negative 4 to our new polynomial, or one of our factors. We get negative 98. So negative 94 is not going to work. I mean, negative 4 doesn't work. Let's do 1/2. 2, 1/2 up 3 plus 1/2 squared minus 4, 1/2 minus 2. All right, so when I plug in positive, when I substitute positive 1/2, doesn't work. Right? Positive 1/2 doesn't work. So hopefully negative 1/2 works. Negative 1/2 works. Okay. So let me get a different color to show you a couple of things. That's what I want to do. So, all right, so f of negative 1/2 is 0. And so I need to find all of them, to find all the zeros. All right, so I'm going to take this guy and do negative 1/2. And I'm going to write my coefficients. 2, 1, negative 4, negative 2. Nothing is skipped, so 2. 2 times negative 1/2, negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 plus negative 1 is 0. When I multiply those, I get 0. Add, multiply, add. All right, so now, it's a really good problem. Now, this was x cubed. Right, if you're a little confused, this has like an extra mark or something. Don't forget the left 3. It's right so big. Okay, and using. Right, so this is x cubed. This is going to be x squared. So 2x squared plus 0x, I don't need to write it, minus 4. Okay, so if I took, here's what all this means. Okay, if I took our first 0 was 4, and so that factor is x minus 4. Okay, and I did x minus 4 times this guy, I would get our big guy. If I did x minus 4 times this guy times another guy, I would get here. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to find all the zeros and all the factors. Right now, this problem in particular is just find the zeros. So we have 4. We had negative 1/2. And these are the rational ones. We need to take this, okay, because these are only the rational ones. That means there's some irrational. Irrational means it's a fraction that never ends, okay, or there could be some complex ones, like with the letter I. All right, so this guy right here, okay, we're gonna have 4 by the way. That guy, so there's 2 of them. This guy right here I need to solve. So 2x squared minus 4 equals 0. I'm gonna add 4 to both sides. I'm gonna divide by 2. So x squared equals 4 divided by that 2 is 2. To get rid of a square, you take a square root, and you also put plus minus. So if x squared equals 2, when I take the square root, I get square root of x, and then I put a plus minus. So, so that means that x would equal plus minus square root of 2. So we would get a square root of 2, and then we would get a negative square root of 2, and those zeros. There's 4 of them. Remember, possible, this should say possible rational zeros, sorry. And then we find all the zeros by using our theorems and synthetic division. All right, so I wrote those down because I would go to the next problem before this video ends. All right, so now same polynomial. I want to write it as a multiplication of its factors. All right, so our things were 4, negative 1/2, plus minus square root 2. All right, so I'm going to write x minus 4, because the factor and the zero opposite, x plus 1/2. Then I'm going to write x. For the plus square root of 2, I'm going to write minus square root of 2. For the minus square root of 2, I'm going to write plus square root of 2. And there you go. So those are all the factors, and then those are the zeros. And so we used all of our theorems to break it down and analyze. I'll see you in the next video.